At a time of great uncertainty and rapid change in many industries, aviation stands out as one of the fastest growing and most dynamic sectors in the global economy. With the industry landscape shifting constantly, the momentum of this change looks set to accelerate in size and scope, calling for a new generation of skilled manpower to stay ahead of the game. This is where we turn our attention on the program. Thanks for joining us on Aviation this week on Channels Television. I'm Bukola Joe Okitumbi.
The Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, NAMA, has said that the four-seater light aircraft that allegedly got missing was not in the country's airspace. Mr. Ibrahim Abdul Salam, the managing director of NAMA, added that the incident was not within the jurisdiction of the agency. He noted that the aircraft had been handed over to the Cameroon Airspace Authority before the incident occurred within their airspace. The four-seater plane was flying from Nigeria to Gabon via Cameroon when it allegedly disappeared. It said the last contact the plane had with the control tower took place in Mongo, which is a 2-hour flight from the Cameroonian economic capital. Report says that search and rescue operations led by Cameroon civil aviation authorities have not yielded any positive results. The plane is owned by the U.S. company Global Aviation. The Supervisor Minister of Aviation, Dr. Samuel Otom, has been speaking about the state of projects being executed by the ministry. Arriving while on the tour of the airports in Lagos, Dr. Otom hinted that the ministry may need the federal government's financial intervention to finish some of the projects under the National Airport Remodeling exercise.
I agree that most of the work has been suspended due to lack of funding, but you also agree with me that for this year, 2014, budget was delayed. It has just been signed into law, and very soon funds will be made available, and we'll immediately release it to the contractors. What I want to assure Nigerians is that we are going to complete all the projects that we started. I will also make some appeal to Mr. President, and if there are funds somewhere to ensure that we complete the projects, I'm sure Mr. President will oblige us because he is committed to this program.
On the foreign scene, over-reliance on automated systems and the complexity of flight systems contributed to the crash of the Asiana Flight 214 on July 6, 2013. This is according to the National Transportation Safety Board, the NTSB. Christopher Hart, the NTSB's vice chairman, during an opening statement at the NTSB's hearing into the crash of the Flight 214 from Seoul, said that although automation has made aviation safer, the complexity of aircraft systems have created opportunities for new problems that designers never anticipated. Investigators also noted that the pilot had inadequate understanding of the aircraft systems and didn't effectively monitor the aircraft's airspeed. Flight 214, a Boeing 777-200ER, slammed into a seawall at the beginning of San Francisco's runway 28L after the aircraft had slowed and stalled. The accident then led to the deaths of 3 passengers. From accident investigation to airline activities, where Etihad Airways is to acquire a 49% shareholding in Italian flag carrier Alitalia after the two carriers agreed conditions. In a joint statement, the two airlines confirm that they have agreed the principal terms of the sale. The airlines will now move to finalize transaction documents that include the agreed upon conditions as soon as possible. The investment is subject to final regulatory approvals at the carriers. How much Abu Dhabi-based Etihad will pay for the Alitalia stake is yet to be known.
For us, it increases the number of flights between Italy and the United Arab Emirates, and more importantly, the code sharing with Abu Dhabi, government of Abu Dhabi national carrier, Etihad, makes it even better, because that means that there's a lot of conveniences for passengers coming and creating much more convenient frequencies.
This is a work that is just at the beginning. I am very convinced that this alliance can expand very much on many other routes.
Interstate 362, Payne Tower, number 3 for the departure X-ray.
As New Flash winds down, it's good news for Boeing as it has been cleared to deliver the first 7879 later in June after being certificated for commercial service by the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration and the European Aviation Safety Agency. The award came after the FAA granted temporary exemptions for 2 components, including the ram air turbine, that Boeing deems non-compliant with regulations. The type certificate for the first stretched variant of the 7878 caps a 4-year development effort plus 9 months and 1,500 hours of flight testing that began last September. Boeing expects the 280-seat 7879 to become the highest-selling member of the 787, with the longest range at 8,300 nautical miles or 15,400 kilometers and a cabin stretched by 6 meters compared to the 7878. 26 identified customers have ordered 413 787-9s, accounting for nearly 40% of the 787 backlog. The first 787-9 is expected to enter service a few hundred kilograms below the specification weight of 251 kilograms. It will also be delivered with extended operations clearance beyond 180 minutes, allowing carriers to fly the twin-engine jet on routes up 240 minutes or 330 minutes, depending on the volume of Holland fire suppressant on board from the nearest divert runway. Following on the heels of the troubled introduction of the 7878, Mark Jenks, a Boeing Vice President of the 787 development, hails the 7879 for achieving a flawless first flight and our on-time certification. However, Boeing acknowledges that the 2 issues arose during flight testing that caused the company to seek time-limited exemptions from the FAA.
Time for a short break. Aviation This Week will return in a moment. Human capital development is key to the growth of any industry, and the nation's aviation sector is not exempt. Nigeria at the moment is experiencing a shortage of personnel for the following reasons. 1. The country before now had only 1 aviation training institute. 2. Foreign pilots staff local airlines. However, because of huge expansion in China, India and the Middle East, there's a serious shortage of pilots, as many Nigerians are now opting to work, especially in the United Arab Emirates. This makes it more difficult for Nigerian carriers to get the personnel they need. 3. There are very few Nigerians undertaking training in aviation because of the high financial cost. While these reasons persist, 2 training institutions in the country come under the radar. The Nigerian College of Aviation Technology is a higher education institute in Zaria, Kaduna State. It is funded by the federal government of Nigeria. Formerly known as the Nigerian Civil Aviation Training Center, the school was established in 1964. It has a fleet of about 24 training aircraft. As of 2013, over 12,000 professionals had graduated from the college, which offers courses in flying, aircraft maintenance, air traffic control, and aeronautical telecommunications engineering and aviation management. In its more than 48 years of experience in providing human resource development for the industry, training is also provided in non-aviation specific areas, such as computer equipment maintenance and satellite communication principles. The college has recently acquired a 3D visual tower simulator, 2 Bell 206 helicopters, and a Boeing 737 aircraft for cabin crew training. Another training institution in the country is the International Aviation College, Ilorin in Kwara State, established to train pilots and other aviation professionals. The IAC was established by the Kwara State government to provide human capital for Nigeria's aviation industry. The college in the future intends to broaden its curriculum to include aircraft maintenance school, air traffic control school, rotary wings pilot training, and cabin crew training. The International Aviation College Ilorin opened its doors to the first batch of students in January 2012 in the area of commercial pilot licenses with multi-engine and instrument rating.